Hope so. Is it?
This call is now being recorded.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's completed,
Uh,
sir.
yes, thank you. Okay. So as on, we have seen the experiments like starting from the first experiment, like a basic gates, adder, subtractor, multiplexer, demultiplexer, encoder, decoder, comparator. So as on, we have seen this kind of experiment, but this all comes under combination circuits. Okay. And now from this week onwards, we are going into the sequential circuits. Mainly, what is the difference between this combinational and sequence? Since you already gone through in the theory, I'll give only a small glimpse, okay, because we have to go into the experiment. So in combination, it is all depending upon the present input and present output. If I'm going to give an input, I'll be getting an output immediately. Okay. So whereas in sequential, I'm going to have the present input as well as the past state output. So here we're going to care about what is the past state conditions also. Whereas in combinational, present input, present output, we are not going to talk about what is my past outputs. Whereas in sequential, we'll be taking care about the past state conditions also. And in the combinational, there is no storage of any bits. Whereas in sequential, there is a storage of a small amount of the bits in the respective IC. And in the combination, we have seen, as I mentioned, like we have gone through like various kinds of experiment, like adder, subtractor, multiplication, division, all the things we have gone through. So under sequential, we are going to see the topic like a flip-flop as well as latches and the applications of that. And in the combination, we didn't use anywhere the clock. Okay. Whereas now onwards, you're going to use the word called clock as a one part of the input to the circuits. And in the combination circuit, we are not going to have any kind of a feedback. Feedback in the sense from the output, it is connected to the input. So in the previous experiment, we didn't have anything. We have an input, we are passing through the gates and we are getting the outputs. Whereas in the sequencer circuit, your output is going to be gate connected to the input. So a partial amount of your output is also connected to the inputs. Based upon the present state of outputs, we are going to declare what is our future outputs also. Okay, this is the main difference between the combinational as well as the sequential. From now onwards, we are going to go into the topic of sequential circuits, which means we are going to use a clock, we are going to have a storage memory, and we are going to have the feedback circuit also. These are the three main things we are going to use in the circuits. Defined earlier, we mainly used like AND or NOT gate and universal gates. These are mainly depending upon present and the past. I mean, present input, present output. And we also gone through various gains. And in the last week classes also, we have seen the conversions like an encoder, where we're going to convert at 8-bit to 3-bit or 3-bit to an 8-bit conversions also. This all comes under the combination circuits. And this is the basic block diagram of combinational, where we have the inputs passing through the n number of circuits, I mean the gates like AND or XOR, etc. And we're getting an output. So your output is entirely depending upon the present state of inputs. We're not going to have any delay in your output. And using combination, we have done the experiment like arithmetic and logic functions. And this is mainly used for the transmission of data. Transmission data comes under multiplexer and demultiplexer. And code converters, we have seen like a gray to binary code and BCD code conversions and all. And in the first half, we have seen like adders, subtractor, comparators also. PLD is like one type of application, but there is a separate subjects. And we have also used the multiplexer as well as demultiplexer encoder and decoder. BCD and 7-segment is also one part of a transmission of data, which is beyond your syllabus. If possible, try to complete that topic also using our mobile app. And we have seen the truth table and what is a graphic symbol, and you have also seen like what is the Boolean equations from your theory. The sequential is nothing but it is going to mainly have circuits where the present input as well as you're going to have the past outputs. Whereas in the previously, we're going to have present input, present output. Whereas in the sequential, we're going to have present input as well as the past output. Okay. And here we're going to have the memory. That memory is going to be a 1-bit memory. Okay. And this is the block diagram of a sequential. So it is a combination part addition also. This is our combination where we have the inputs and output, but we're going to have a small feedback. We're going to connect a feedback from the output to the input. So based upon this feedback only, we're going to have that feedback process as a memory. So that memory is saved for a certain time period only, not for a very long time period. Okay. And here we are going to mainly use like latches, flip-flop as well as register using under the sequential circuits, but mainly we're going to focus the flip-flop as well as the registers. And where the outputs we are going to have like one or two states. Okay, I'll say that what is the one or two states in the upcoming slides. And we are going to categorize this under like a synchronous as well as asynchronous. This is also very important. What is a synchronous? Synchronous is nothing but in synchronous we're going to have a common clock is given to all the flip-flops. Okay. For example, I'm going to have a 4 different blocks. In that 4 different blocks, I'm going to give a single clock. Okay. The same wire is connected to all the 4 boxes. Whereas in the asynchronous, I'm going to connect only the clock to the first person. For example, in your class, I'm going to have the register number as 101, where he is the only guy who's connected with the engine. Whereas the register number 102, 103 are coming at the behind. Okay, so what are the instructions? I'm going to give the instruction only to the 101, and he is going to transfer the data from 101 to 102, 102 to 103. That is nothing but asynchronous. Whereas in synchronous, I'm going to have the tie-up with directly to all the persons. I'm going to have the direct communications from register number 101 to 160. So I can transfer the fast data, okay, because I'm going to have the direct contact. Whereas in the asynchronous, I'm going to have the contact only with the first person of 101. And 101 is going to
So the first output will be the input for the second one.
Yes, of course, you're right. So I'll be having a contact only to the 101, whereas 101 is going to transfer the data to the 102. If suppose 101 is going to sleep for a while, what happened? The data is standing in 101 itself. So there is a delay in the transmissions. So asynchronous nothing but where I'm going to have a small amount of delay in the transmission of the signals. Whereas in the synchronous, the clock is connected directly to every block. Okay, so I'm going to have a faster transmission when compared to my asynchronous cases. So this is the main difference between what is synchronous and asynchronous. And this is all mainly used in the computers as well as in the communications. And also we have like enormous amount of application. I'll show one of the applications also in the YouTube video after these classes. And we are going to use like a flip-flop as well as the shift registers. Okay, so under flip-flop we have the types like SR flip-flop, which is also called as set and resets. And next is nothing but a D flip-flop, which is also called as a data or a delay. And next is a T flip-flop, where T is also called as a toggle. Toggle mean is nothing but a blinking of a bulb. Okay, we cannot define that state. It will be either low value or high values. Okay, and the next flip-flop is nothing but a JK flip-flop. So these are the different types of flip-flops, and these flip-flops are used in our experiments. Okay, so we will use based upon our needy any of the flip-flop in our applications. Okay. And there are various applications using your flip-flop like a counter, frequency divider, shift register, as well as storage registers. Likewise, I've listed only a few applications here. So in our as per our syllabus, I'm going to focus to the shift registers, okay, and the flip-flop. Probably what is register? Okay, so as everybody have your registration number. Okay, if I type a registration number in the ERP, what happens? It is going to give all the details starting from your first semester till you are currently in second year. So till your second semester of your results, and your address, your phone number, email ID, etc., etc., etc. Which means that under your register number, some amount of data has been saved, but there the data size is very larger. Okay, all this data is coming from where? It's nothing but a binary bits. Okay, so your register is nothing but a certain amount of a memory where it is going to be saved for a certain time of a period. Okay, so here we're going to use the word called as a flip-flop. So flip-flop is nothing but it is a memory device. Whereas previously we have used a combination circuits, this is all comes under a non-memory device. Your AND gate is not going to save any kind of bits. Your AND gate or OR gate or XOR gate, any gates which you have seen in the previous combination circuits, there we doesn't have any memory capacities. Whereas in the sequencer circuits, under this flip-flop, where we are going to have a memory. But that memory is not very high capacity of memory. This is just a small amount of memory. Every flip-flop will have only a 1 bit. Okay, you just imagine that here I gave the example like a byte, which is nothing but an 8 bits. A flip-flop is nothing but a 1 bit memory. It can save only 1 bit. So for carrying this 8 bits, how many number of flip-flops are required? It required 8 flip-flops. Okay, but it is going to save your data for a certain time. When this data has been taken, when we are going to have a feedback only, we can take that input, the output data as a memory for certain time periods. Okay, and depending upon your bits, the number of flips are going to get increased. So here, if I am going to have 8 bits, means I'll be having 8 number of flip-flops. So this is an example here. The length of your stored binary bits is all depending upon your number of flip-flops. So n bit register means is require n number of flip-flop. If it is 8 bit, I'm in need of 8 flip-flops. If it is a 32 bit, I'm in need of 32 flip-flops. So the storage of your device is called as your registers. So where I'm going to have a group of a flip-flop. Every flip-flop are going to have a certain memory which is going to be saved for a certain time period. And under register, we are going to see the topic like called as shift registers. What is shift registers? For example, now I'm giving a data directly to all the register number starting from 101 to 160. But I gave in one of the example like it's an asynchronous. If I'm going to talk the data only, if I'm going to deliver the data only to register number 101, okay, 101 will be gathering all my information. I'm transferring like 80% of information. 101 gathered 70% of information, but he is going to deliver only 50% of the information to the 102. So what about here? We are having very loss of your data. Or sometimes what happen? Register number 102 also can deliver a data to me. Okay, so shift register is nothing but where we're going to have a transmission of your binary information either in one direction or in both the directions also. If I take an example like a walkie-talkie, it's nothing but a two-way communication, but only one at a time the data can be transferred. Either the sender can transfer data or the receiver can transfer data, but only one at a time. Whereas your telephone, your mobile phone, where we're having like a two-way communications. Speaker, sender also can transfer the data. Similar, the receiver also can transfer the data. Okay, so here under shift register, I'm going to use a D flip-flop. We have seen like various lines of flip-flop like SR, D, T, as well as J, K flip-flop. So as per here, registers nothing but I'm going to have the transmission of a data. So here the D stands for the data. So here for this application, I'm going to use a D flip-flop. But D flip-flop is the most used flip-flop when compared to all the remaining 4 flip-flops. So here I'm going to have the flip-flops. Every flip-flop will have a clock pulse, and that clock pulse is a common clock pulse. Okay, so for all the register numbers starting from 101 to 106, I'm the common clock pulse. I'm going to transfer the data to all the 57 students starting from 101 to 160. Okay, and every shifting happens only one by one. That is one bit position to the right. For example, 101 to 102. 102 to 103, 103 to 104. So in this way only we are going to have a transmission of data from one flip-flop to the other flip-flop. Okay. So only we are going to have the name so called as a shift register. We are going to shift. For example, the other one I'm going to take like you are moving from first year to the second year. Now presently you are second year. The next year you are going to come into the third year. So likewise you are shifting your position from one position to the other position. Similarly, we are going to transfer the data from one point to the other point. Okay. Which means that it is shifting the one box to the other boxes. Okay, and under this shift register, we are going to see like 4 different classifications, like a serial in serial output, which is also called as SISO, and a serial in parallel output, parallel in serial output, parallel in parallel output. So these 4 classifications we are going to see in our experiment. Okay, now we will see one by one. First, I'll give the concept of what is happening here. Okay. This is general logic diagram of a D flip-flop, which you might have studied in your digital theory. Okay. And this is the circuit diagram for serial in serial output. Okay. This is how we are going to give you our connections in our mobile app. Okay. Let me see the block diagram first. So this is nothing but a single flip-flop. Okay. A single flip-flop contains pin number 2, which is used for D, where I'm going to give your data input. Okay, and pin number 3 is nothing but a clock which is being connected to all. So as we seen in the point, like a clock pulse which is connected to all the flip-flops. So here I'm the clock pulse. I'm going to connect all the persons of 57 in your classes. So there's a single clock pulse is connected to pin number 3, and the single clock pulse is connected to all the flip-flops in sequential. This method is like a parallel connections. Okay. And this pin number 4 and 1 are nothing but a preset as well as a clear. So we mentioned that this is a memory devices. Before we start every stage of a process, we want to clear our data. For example, now register number 158 have transfer the data now. Now next 160 is going to ask the permission for transferring the data. So before transmission of the 160 data, I suppose to clear all the data what has been saved in the every flip-flops. So for that, I have to go for the clearing your commands. Okay, and this is a preset. Yes.
Sir, what is the difference between data input and clock pulse?
Data input is nothing but now I'm transferring a data. Okay, so for example, now if anybody give a permission only, I can take a class for you. Okay, if suppose for example now some higher officials informing me that you will take a class for this 2C class now. If somebody gives some instruction to me only, I can transfer the data. Okay, without a clock pulse, I cannot transfer the data. I have the data with me, but if there is no clock pulse, there is no transmission of data from one person to the other person. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
I have the data with me. For example, now I'm teaching a digital electronics class to you now. I'm going to talk about a shift register. But if suppose the HOD comes to my cabin, no, you don't take the class. What I will do, I'll stop the class. Again, he's giving instruction now, you can take a class. Then I will start my transmission. So somebody is there to give a control to me. That is nothing but a control. That is nothing but a clock.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I have the data, but if there is no instruction to me, means I will have the data in the pin number 2 itself. If there is no transmission of data. If the clock is given as an instruction to me only, I can transfer the data from the first flip-flop to the second flip-flop.
Okay, sir.
Okay, for example, now I have given an idea to register number 117. Okay, I have given the idea to her to give a demo to you. Okay, but until my instructions, she'll be waiting to transfer the data to all the classes. Or for example, let me take your class here also. I'm giving some instruction to your CR to give the information to you until my instruction. I'm entering the word until my instruction. If I didn't give the word called as yes, he won't transfer the data to the class members. If I said yes only, the class CR will post a message in your class group. Is it clear? Okay, so where the data is now, I gave the data to a CR now. But he is having the data. Until my instruction, he is supposed to wait. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So there's a preset and the clock will be always low. When I'm going to press the button, what happens? It is going to reset all my data inside the flip-flop. Okay, so mostly we'll be using the data input, which is either a high input or low input, and the clock is used to transmit the data from one box to the other boxes. That is one flip-flop to the other flip-flop. Okay, and here we use like a 4 different set of flip-flop. I'll show that in a video so that you'll get a clear idea than giving an explanations. Okay, and this experiment which I tried in the mobile lab. Okay, so the flip-flop which I've taken, this clock is nothing but I've taken as a push button, and this switch is nothing but normally our inputs, and I've taken a separate terminal like a low button. We have like a separate terminal. I'll show that in the mobile also now, high as well as low. For this preset and a clear, we are going to give only a low command. So I have chosen a low values. Okay, and here the output of the flip-flop, that is the first flip-flop, is connected as the input to the next one. Okay, I'll show that in the theory in the upcoming video so that you'll get an idea. Okay, and this is the serial in, serial output. Okay, serial in, serial output is nothing but, as I gave the previous example, I have given a chalk piece or a chocolate to the register number 101. Register number 101 is supposed to transfer the data to 102, 102 to 160. So this is how the data. Okay, so you just give a command from your side. 160 will receive the data by what time? If I'm transferring the data by now, the time is 2:45. I'm giving a small piece of a chocolate to 101. When the 160 will receive the data? 160 is here. Ashwin? Ashwin? Went away. 152?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You just given a feedback that I have given the chocolate to 101. When this 152 will receive the data? Immediately or later?
It's a late.
Sorry, man. Hello.
Told he'll receive after some time, sir.
Adding it. Come again. Come again.
After 50 members, he'll receive that, sir.
Okay. I'll take 1 second for every person. So by what time will receive the data?
151 seconds.
151 second. Hey,
51 seconds, sir.
51 seconds will be taking a data. Yes or no? Because we are transferring from one by persons. Okay. So here in this diagram, okay, how many flip-flops I have? I have 3 flip-flops. So when this bulb will glow, when I transfer the data, after which second?
3, sir.
After 3 seconds. So if I transfer the data, I supposed to wait till 3 seconds to see the output of the last flip-flop. Okay, so this is nothing but a serial in serial. It is transferring the data one by one, but I am transferring the data only to the register number 101. So register number 101 is a transferring data to the 102, 102 to 103 until the last persons. So what happened? It is one by one, the data has been transferring. So it is taking a much time period to transfer the data. Okay, and next one is nothing but a serial in parallel output. So similarly, everybody are interconnected. Like a 101 is connected to 102, 102 is interconnected to 103. But I could able to see the output performance in every person's. I have the direct contact with the 101. I have the direct contact with the 102. I have the direct contact with the 103. So I could able to see what is the output being delivered from 101 to 102. Okay. So this is also a serial communication only, but I could see what data has been delivered to every person's. Since I mentioned I'm transferring a chocolate. So 101 will take the 100% of the chocolate. Again, 102 will get only 80% of the chocolate. 103 will get only 50% of the chocolate. I cannot give a guarantee to 152. Yes or no? So I want to know what is the status of a data transmission in every part of output. So here we are going to have a serial in parallel output. Here we are transferring data one by one only, but I could able to see what is the output is being given to every person's. So this is comes under serial in parallel output. And this is the diagram also which I have tried in the mobile app. I'll show that in the demo now. And the last one is nothing but a parallel in parallel output. There is one more thing because I think that circuit is a little bit complex. We cannot do that in the mobile phone. So I'm skipping that. Okay. That is a parallel in serial output. Okay. So this is a parallel in parallel output. So here what I'm going to do is that every person have a separate person. For example, 101 is having a separate person who will give the chocolate and will get the response. Okay. So first flip-flop will have the data, as an input, will have a separate bulb as the data output. Similarly, the D flip-flop have a separate input, separate output. Similarly, your third D flip-flop having a separate input, separate output. You just imagine the data transmission here, it will be the more fastest because every flip-flop having a separate input and separate output. So here the transmission of data will be very, very faster when compared to the previous technique like a serial in serial output or serial in parallel output. Okay. Any doubts as on?
No, sir.
Okay. I'll show some small video for understanding. Okay, so this concept is nothing but serial in parallel output. Okay, just to see how the data has been transferring from one of the flip-flop. Okay.
Serial input and parallel output shift register. Here, the first flip-flop output is connected to the input of the second flip-flop as well as the output is QA. And second flip-flop output is connected to the input of the third flip-flop and as well as the output QB. And third flip-flop output is connected to the input of the fourth flip-flop as well as the output QC. And fourth flip-flop output is called as the QD. This QA and QB, QC and QD is the data output. Initially, all output becomes 0, 0, 0. Without clock pulse, all the data is become 0, 0, 0. Next, we are going to apply the first clock pulse. What is happening here? During the first clock pulse, the data to be entered as like that. The first output becomes QA becomes 1, QB becomes 0, QC becomes 0, and QD becomes 0. This is the first data output. This becomes 1, 0, 0, 0. During the second clock pulse, the other input to be entered as like that. QA becomes 0, QB becomes 1, QC becomes 0, and QD becomes 0. The second data output becomes 0, 1, 0, 0. How is getting? The 1 is shifted to here, and 0 is shifted to here, and this 0 is shifted to here. Next clock pulse, we are going to apply the third clock pulse. What is happening? The third input data to be entered as like that. The QA becomes 1, and QB becomes 0, and QC becomes 1, and QD becomes 0. This third data output becomes 1, 0, 1, 0. In this time, this 0 is shifted to here, and 1 is shifted to here, and this 0 is shifted to here. This 1 is to be input data. After the fourth clock pulse, what is happened? The final input to be entered here, this 1 is here, and QB is 1, QC is 0, and QD is 1. And fourth data output becomes 1, 1, 0, 1. This time this 1 is shifted to here, 0 is shifted to here, 1 is shifted to here, and this one is the input data. This operation.
All right. So this is just a small idea. I'll show that how this has been taking place in the real time. And you'll be studying this concept maybe in the third year or in the final year, okay? But you should know where this shift register has been used in the real cases, okay?
Well, it's a way of transmitting data in a line, one data after the other, and in this case we are talking about digital data. Imagine that you want to send the number 198, which in binary, which are just ones and zeros, will be 11000110. You could connect a wire for each bit and send the high digital pulse for ones and the low value for zeros, and do that at the same time. So in just one moment you can send all the bits at the same time. This is called a parallel communication. The downside of this kind of communication is that we have to use 8 connections plus the ground reference, so a total of 9 cables. But this is for 8 bits. Imagine that you want to send a 16 bits data. In that case, we will need 17 cables, and usually we want fewer connections. So instead of sending the data each bit at the same time, what we will do is to place the bits in series, and then we send each one after the other using just one cable. But you could already see the downside of this type of communication. If we send 16 bits in parallel, we need only one clock pulse to send all the data. If we send the same data using serial communication, we will need 16 clock pulses to send the same amount of data, so this will be 16 times slower. So that's the main disadvantage of using serial communication. As examples for serial communication, we have the S-Bus, the PPM, the JTAG connection, WART, I2C, the CAN, SPI, MIDI, USB, RS-233 and more. And even the Morse code could be a serial communication. Okay guys.
Okay, this is just how the transmissions takes place, and here also they have given the hint that which one is the advantage and which is the disadvantage. For example, if I take a parallel communication where I can have the fast data transmissions, okay, because in present scenario, in this present century, we are trying to expect like a more faster transmission of data. Okay, if it is a more fast of a transmission of data, there is no delay. That is the main advantage. But if I take the disadvantage, what happens? I'm going to use, and they give the examples also like 8 bits. If it is an 8-bit data transmission, 8 plus 1 number of wires are required. So I need to purchase that. Okay, I have to connect this 9 wires between the transmitter as well as the receiver. You just think about the costs, it will be more higher. Okay, if I take a serial communication where I'm going to have only 1 wire between the transmitter and the receiver, okay, I used only 1 wire. If I see the cost is very, very less. But if I take the data transmission rate, it is very, very slow. And it is going to be a very slow process. It is going to take a much time period for transferring data from the transmitter to the receivers. Okay, so depending upon the applications, we are going to use either a serial communication or a parallel communications. Okay, now I'll go to my mobile phone for showing the demo. to do the experiments. So first I'll start with serial in, serial output. Okay.
Sir, what about serial in parallel out?
Serial in parallel output, the same process, but there we need to add one more gates. Okay. If I add the number of gates, it will be a little bit complex in mobile phone. Okay. If possible, you can also try that.
Disadvantages of using that?
No. Everything has certain advantages. If I want a fastest transmission, I can go for only a parallel output. Okay. If I want like only it can take like 1 or 2 days, means I can go for either serial or parallel. It's all depending upon the applications. For example, if I want to give another example for use, like if I take an LED display, LED displays are coming like a serial communication, but we have like a bit transmission data like a parallel. That's what this gave the example, like a BCD to 7 segment also as one of the applications. Okay, it may vary like applications to applications. I'll show some of the applications video also if possible. Okay. Now I'll share the screen from my mobile phone. Now I'll start with first serial in, serial output experiment. Okay. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first I'm going to select the component. Okay. So first I will take a D flip-flop. You can see now here flip-flops like SR, D, JK as well as T. And for this shift register experiment, we are going to use a D flip-flop. First, I'm going to take one D flip-flop. Then I'm going to take one switch, one push button. And also I mentioned that we are going to have like a high or low. You can also see here like high as well as low. Okay. I'm going to take only low component. So I'm going to take 2 low component. Okay. Now I've taken all the components. Now let me place. So one for the top, that is one for the presets, the other one for the clear. Push button is used as a clock. Switch is used as a data transmission. And this is the data. Okay. We'll try to have a little bit near. Right. And I will take the output as your light bulb. Right. So just I placed all the components. Now I have to have the connection. So I'm connecting the switch to D. That is something about a data transmission. Okay. I'm connecting the push button to the clock. So push button is going to act as a clock. Okay. And this low is connected to presets, and similarly other low is connected to the clear. And the output of your D flip-flop is nothing but a Q. I'm going to connect that to the output bulb. Okay. So here we have like only one data. Okay. D is going to act as a data. That is, I'm going to take this as a switch. If you want, I can rename also this one so that it will be clear for you. So this is going to act as an input. And this push button is going to act as a clock. And the rest all you are aware. Okay. Now somebody asked the question that why I used a clock. Okay. Now I'm going to start the experiment now. First, I'm going to make the input value as a 1. Okay. Now you can see that switch is in red color. Okay. The switch is in red color now. Okay. Now there is no data transmission. Now the input is ready. I have given the input to the input of D flip-flop. But there is no transfer for data from the input to the output sides. The data can be transferred from the input of the flip-flop to the output of the flip-flop only when I give the clock pulse. only when I get a command from somebody else. Okay, so now I'm going to press the clock pulse now. Only a single press I'm going to give. Okay, it is like a spring button only. Okay, so once I press the clock pulse, this data input, which is high data, that is transferred to the output bulb. Okay, now you can see the output. See now? So after I press the push button, that is a clock pulse only, the data are transferred from the input to the output. Now I'm going to give the input as 0. Now what is the output of LED bulb? It is 1. What does it mean? It is showing the previous output. That is what we are calling, this all comes under a sequential circuit where it is depending upon the present input as well as the past output. Now what is the output we are getting here? This is a past output. But what is the input I've given here, present input, which is 0. Is it clear? So now I'm going to press the clock so that the data 0 will be transferred from the input to the output. Now you can see 0 is transferred to the output. Okay, so here I've done using a single flip-flop. So for a single flip-flop, how many number of clock pulses are taken for transferring data? Only one time. For example, I'll repeat it. I'm pressing an input now. I'm pressing only 1 times of the pulse. So data has been transferred. Okay, so as for the circuit diagram which I've shown in the previous, if I'm going to have 2 flip-flop, how many number of clock pulses are required? 2 clock pulses. If I'm going to use a 4 number of D flip-flop, I'm in need of 4 times of clock pulse. Okay, now I'm going to increase the clock pulse now. I'm going to increase the flip-flop now. Okay, so I'll remove this connection. I'll go for the second component now. Okay, I'm taking the second flip-flop. If I'm going to use second flip-flop means I'm in need of 2 clock pulses. Okay, right. So how's the connection? Here we're going to do like a serial in serial output. Okay, which means that every person are interconnected. 101 is connected to 102. Similarly, the first flip-flop is connected to the second flip-flop. That is, the output of the first flip-flop is connected to the input of the second flip-flop. So I'm going to have a connection from the first flip-flop to the second flip-flop. So I have connected between the first flip-flop to the other, is the output of the first flip-flop to the input of the second flip-flop. Okay, and similarly the preset I'm going to take from here, and the clear I'm going to take from here. Okay, and also clock, I'm going to take the clock from here to the next clock. So every clock are interconnected. I'm going to have only a single clock, but every flip-flop are going to get activated simultaneously. Okay, now I'm going to connect the bulb here.
Sir, what is the use of Q dash?
Q dash is like the inversion of your Q ma. Mostly for a data transmission, we'll be taking only Q. Okay, Q dash, if it is required, we are going to use. For example, in some cases, I want I'm getting the output as a high. Okay, for example, but in that cases, I don't want to have the high as in for my LED bulb, but I want only low output. If it is required of a low output, I can take the output from the Q bar.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Okay, sir. Understood.
For example, I'll show the output also here. I'll take one more bulb also for understanding. Yes. So I've taken the other bulb. Q is nothing but high, and Q bar is nothing but reverse. Okay, I will have the connections now. Okay, right. So I will make it as 0 everything now. Okay, so we are going to focus only on Q, because a Q is nothing but the direct connection of D. Q bar is nothing but the inverse operation of Q. What is the output of Q here? That is a light 6, which is low output. But see the output of light 17, which is high, is the inversion operations. Okay, so Q bar, Qn plus 1 will be saying that. That may be like a present input and your past output. Okay, and we are not going to focus mostly on the Q bar. We will be focusing only on the Q. Okay, so it will confuse you for the concept here, so I'm going to remove that. Okay,
Sir, in this circuit, we want to press 2 times the clock, sir.
Yes, of course. I'll start the process now. Okay, now I'm going to change, I'm going to give the input as 1. Okay, I'll repeat the concept. Now the input is given only to the first flip-flop, first D flip-flop, but there is no data transmissions. Now I'm going to press the first clock. Okay, so I press the first clock. See the line which shows a red color. So the output of a D flip-flop is nothing but red color, which is a high states. That output is also given as an input to the D flip-flop of the second one. So second D flip-flop receive the data, but there is no transmission. To have the output transmission, I'm going to press second times the pulse. So I'll press the second time, you'll be getting the output now. See? So it is all n as plus n. N clock pulse, n bits, n register. It is all an equal number of n's. If I'm going to have 9 flip-flops, I'm in need of 9 clock pulse. I'm in need of 9 registers. So all these n are equal. Number of register is nothing but n. Number of clock pulse is also nothing but n. Number of bits is also nothing but n. So here, what's the data transmission? A 2-bit. So one by one, I'm going to transfer now. Now I'll change the input as 0. Okay. Now see the red color light which is shown in the figure. I press the first button. Output of the first flip-flop is 0, but the output of the second flip-flop is previous one. Okay. Now I'm pressing the second one. Now you can see the output transmission in the second data flip-flop. Right? Okay. Is it clear? Any doubts?
Sir, once can I explain that last one, second one?
Okay. I'll come back again. I'll change the inputs to 1 now. Okay. Now what is the output of the first flip-flop?
0.
0. So when I press the first clock pulse, the output has become red now, which means it is high. The output of first flip-flop is given as an input to the second flip-flop now. So second flip-flop receive the data as high states, but it doesn't transfer. For transferring your data, is supposed to press the second clock. Now I'm pressing the second clock. It is transferred the data from the input to the output.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm changing the bit values. Now I'm changing the bit values as 0. Okay. So this 0 will be taken to the first flip-flop output when I press only a clock.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Fast
But for
value
the second,
remains.
flip-flop, but for the second flip-flop, it is having its previous memory. What is the memory? It is a 1-bit memory.
Yes, sir.
What is the previous case? It is a high states.
One.
So the second flip-flop output is high.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. Now I'm pressing the second times. Now the second data has also been transferred. So this is serial and serial output. Okay. Now I'll do serial and parallel output. Okay. With the same circuit. This is the second logic. Okay. Now with the small modification, I'm going to add one more bulb. That's all. Just I'm going to have one more bulb. Connecting this bulb to the output of first flip-flop. That's all. So what happened now? The same transmission rate is the same only, but I could be able to see the output of every flip-flop. Okay. Now I'm going to give the data as a 1. Okay. Can anyone tell now? I have given the input as 1 now. Does there any transmission takes place now here?
No, sir.
Sir.
When the data transmission can be takes place?
Without clock.
Pressing
it will
a
not
clock.
transform.
Okay. When I press the clock only, there's a data transmission. Now I'm going to press only a first time. That is the first clock pulse I'm going to press. What happened now?
First bulb will glow.
Because there is a transmission of data 1 from the input to the output. That's all. And the same input is given to the second flip-flop as an input. That is the output of the first flip-flop is given as an input to the second flip-flop. That's all. Is there any transmission in the second flip-flop? No. To have the transmission, what I have to do?
Give one more clock pulse.
Yes. And so I'm going to give the second clock pulse so that the 1 has been transferred. So this is also very similar to the previous concept. The only difference is that I can see what is the output being delivered at the output of every flip-flop. That's all. But the transmission rate is very, very same. Is it clear? So this is serial in parallel output. Okay. Now I'm going for parallel in parallel output. That is my third one. Okay. So for that, I'm in need of one more inputs. So that input will be given to second flip-flop. Okay. And we have to remove the connection between the two flip-flops. Okay. So I'm going to remove the output connection That is the output of first flip-flop. We have connected to the input of the second flip-flop. I'm going to remove the connection. So I removed it. That is only the small changes. Rest all the circuit is all same. Now I'm going to connect the second switch to the input of second flip-flop. Okay, I'm just connected the second switch to the input of second flip-flop now. Okay, see the bulb still is glowing. Why is it glowing?
Depending on the power.
Previous signal output is showing, sir.
Because it is all having a 1-bit memory. It is stored for a while. Because my previous state output was something but 1 and 1.
Till the next input is given.
Until the next input is given, but until
Clock
if I
will
give the
clock
clock only, it will change it. Okay, this is nothing but your set as well as the reset condition. So now the set value is something but both the bulb are going in a high state. Now I want to make us this as reset. For resetting, what I have to do, I have to make us the input as 0. I have to press the clock pulse. Okay. Now this is the third part of a circuit where I have like a parallel in, parallel output. Okay. I'll make the inputs at first 0 so that we will have the clear concept. Yes. Now both the inputs are 0. What is the outputs? 0. Now I'm going to make first, and now I'm going to focus only the first half of the circuit. I'm going to leave the second one. Okay. So in the first switch, I've given the input as 1. Is there any data transmission? No. When the data transmission can be takes place? When I press the clock pulse. So I'm going to press the clock pulse and see the output of the first one. It is high states. What about a second flip-flop? Is there any data transmission takes place?
No, sir.
Why?
There is no connection.
I didn't give the inputs because I've given, now I've taken the second
input is 0.
Because the second input is 0. So the output is 0 now. Now I'm going to give the second input value as 1. If I press the push button one more time, you can see both the outputs as high. Okay, now I'm going to do 0 and 0. I'm going to give only single pulse. Both outputs are 0. Now I'm going to make 1, 0. I'm sorry, 1, 0. I'm pressing a single pulse. See the outputs? 1, 0. So how fastly the data has been transferred from the input to the output sides? Because every individual are having a separate input, a separate output. Is it clear? So how the data transmission is very, very faster when compared to all my previous techniques. But to see the number of bulb required, the number of switches required, the number of wires required, by increasing the number of components, it will already increase the cost wise also. So this is the fastest technique as well as this is the costliest circuit also, because the number of components are going to get increased. Is it clear? Is it clear with all the three concepts? Serial in, serial
Yes,
output, serial in, parallel output, as well as parallel in, parallel output. Any doubts?
Sir, why are you using a low state, sir?
Low state, I'm not low state in the sense I'm not going to clear my data now, because
Okay,
I'm
sir.
going to use the memory which is there inside the flip-flop. Okay, for example, now I'm doing the experiment, so I don't want to change my errors. I don't want to change my input data which is saved in the D flip-flop now. Okay, if suppose now I'm going to call the Ashwin now, I'm asking him to do the same experiment using the same experiment, using the same circuit what I've designed now. What he's supposed to do? He's supposed to erase all my previous memory. For erasing only, I have to go for this clear as a high states. Okay, so this low button is
Okay,
now
sir.
given as a high button now. If I'm going to give this as a high button, whatever the data which is saved in every flip-flop will be erased. Is it clear?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Fine. Done. I'll show the circuit of serial and the other circuit which I didn't do it. I'll stop sharing in mobile phone. So now I think this is the lab manual. So we have done this first one, which is a serial in, serial output. Okay, so here I have like a 4. You can try with the 2 as well as 3, because in the PPT I have shown like with the 3 flip-flop. You can also try with the 3, but for the demo purpose, for the since it's a short bit of a time, I have to use only 2 flip-flop. But you can use 3 flip-flop for your circuit demo purpose. Okay, so I've shown the for serial in, serial output, and this is a serial in, parallel output also I've shown. And for parallel in, serial output, I didn't do it because I'm in need of one more component of an OR gate at the every output of your flip-flops. Since we are using this using our mobile phone, it may little bit complex, because somewhere we make a mistake by connecting a wires. So only I didn't do this parallel in, serial output. If you have the patient, really you can do it. Okay, and also I've done this parallel in, parallel output. Okay, so I've shown all this 3 except this parallel in, serial output. Okay, so you're going to do all this experiment separately. Parallel in, parallel output, serial in, serial output also. Or if you can able to take in a single shot of video also, you can take, because there is only small modification in every circuit. First you have to do serial in, serial output. Then with a small modification, you're going to do a serial in, parallel output. Then with again extra component, parallel in, parallel output. I think you can do it in a single shot of a video if possible. If you feel that, because some people if the size of a video is going to be extended like more than an MB, I think you feel very difficult to upload in the GCR. If that is the case, then you guys, is my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think that's a small net connectivity. Fine. Hope you are clear with the concepts, and you're also very clear with what is assigned, what you're going to do for the next week. Is it clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, if you're going to have a good bandwidth, you can take in a single shot of video. If you're going to have a lower bandwidth of your internet quality, you can take a single video for every 3. So you're going to do only 3 experiment. If you can able to do your the other experiment with using an OR gate also, if possible, you can do it. Clear? Shall we end the class? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No doubt, sir.